Yeah.
What is going on, traders? This is going to be attempt number 3 at this video. I am watching my 3-year-old today, and he is not making it easy. He keeps coming in, grabbing my legs, pushing things, just throwing fits. So, that is the, whoa, reality. That is the reality of watching kids and trying to be a trader. So, most of the time during the week, I've either got a wife or some other means to keep the kid distracted, but weekends not so much. Anyway, so this is going to be a short video um, about how to utilize looking at delta imbalances essentially, along with market structure to take a simple trade. And this was a trade that I posted in my Discord, in the private trading room. We've got a whole Discord that has got a whole bunch of good stuff on there, and I'll talk about it a little bit at the end of the video. It's worth your while to listen. I'll just tell you that right now. Anyway, and uses market structure and a little bit of delta imbalance, essentially locating icebergs and where larger players are accumulating, and how they're essentially trapping some of the lesser capitalized players short term, intraday, to move the price around and get a better exit price. So without further ado, let's get into it. I've got a replay chart. This is going back into Friday. What was it? 5. Let's see. 5/7. So May 7th, Friday, about 10:50 to 10:55 Pacific Standard Time. Add 3 hours to that if you're on the East Coast. And I'm going to replay this chart. So what I've got here is, we'll move this off the screen. All right, this is 1 time speed. So here's, we've got our DOM, right? And over here we have our delta footprint, or net delta footprint chart, with the center counter candle being a normal candlestick that is volume weighted. So the more volume is in a 5-minute candle, the wider or fatter it is. You see this one? It's the fattest one. Well, look at the volume. It's almost 14,000, right? Then you compare this one, 9,600, with this one. They look about the same, but then this one, 8,600, it's a little skinnier, right? So the candle's width is a little bit less, okay? So, and then in terms of the footprint itself, you could maybe see on YouTube, maybe not, these light gray lines. Well, that separates out the left side of essentially the footprint candle information, and then the right side is here. So, when I have this centered, my crosshairs snap right to the middle of the footprint. So that's this candle, this blue candle here, includes this information on the left and on the right. Okay, so if that's a lot for you, just keep that in mind. This left side is net delta, and the background bar graphic just gets brighter as there's a higher delta, and then as a lower deltas compared to the other same deltas of the bar, it gets darker. And you could see that, right? The 228 is brighter than the 123, right? And so, yeah. And then when it's negative delta, right, or initiative selling into the bid, it becomes a negative or a pink number. When it's there's more positive delta at a tick, right? So ask volume minus bid volume. Ask volume is considered volume that hits the ask, so initiative buying. So when there's more ask volume or more buying at a level, it's blue, right? And then this right side is just volume, and you can see it's brighter uh, the higher the volume is at a given price level. Okay, so that's all it is, and that's kind of what we're focused on here. So what I want to bring to your attention is, as we have this on normal speed, speed is 1 times, so 100% of normal, is I want to show you this other chart that I like to use, and this chart is not part of the replay, but I'm just showing you the structure of it. Where we're at in the market is somewhere right in here. Okay, we're right in here. You see the DOM? The DOM's still active on the replay, so it's right in here somewhere. And at this point, I had already drawn this red resistance line. Again, this is a Renko chart, so the volumes are going to aggregate if it takes longer for price to move through an area. So it's not time-based. If you don't know about Renko, well, this isn't a tutorial about Renko. So here, let's see here. Let me go back. So anyway, what I'm showing you here on this chart is that at this, let me go back to this delta footprint real quick. Let me pause it because I don't want it to move past what I'm trying to show you guys. It may restart that. Okay, so what I'm looking at here, and again, in real time, I was drawing support, right? We had this big move. It pulled back. It pulled back before the move. Then it pushed up, and then it pulled back again. It held this prior consolidation, and then it ripped back up. So if you look at your Renko chart, you see the volume down here. There's 1, 2, 3 big volume bars. Where are those volume bars? They're right here. All right, right. Another one here. Right here. Okay, and then another one here. Right here. And then look at the structure. Right, we've got sort of bodies right in here. So my idea here is, as price moves up, rejects short term, maybe some longs capitulate down into essentially a little consolidation area, and then maybe shorts add here, and then they're wrong and it breaks out. So what I'm moving forward, looking at this to determine my support area for a potential buy here in the afternoon is, okay, we had this morning action, rips up, gets to the 30s mark, measured move on a 60-minute out of a inverted kind of head and shoulders thing. So 32.50 is actually the measured move. So we didn't even quite get there, but very darn close. Anyway, 60-minute chart, so different thing. Anyway, we get this move, right? And I suggested probably a short in this area, and we got it. And I got it as well. And now I'm looking for where to buy. Okay, so I covered my short in the 21s, and I started getting long. I took like 3 points here. Because you could see, right, we're above this area. Shorts were really trying to get out at this point. And so I said, well, you know what? Let's compete with them, and I'll get long, and I think they're going to start covering. And they're going to push price up. So we'll get a natural bounce below this low and above this high. But as we started to pull back, I was like, okay, it's patient mode time. So I'm looking at this pattern here, and it plays out a lot of times intraday for reversals. Okay, so again, what I'm looking at is you got these bodies, you got this high. So I'm looking at, okay, well, this high is probably a buy, right? So it's part of my buy zone. But also this the aforementioned structure with the volume and where it rejects initially is probably where shorts, if it comes down, are going to try to get out at break even. So it's probably a buy. We also have, this little teal dotted line here is volume weighted average price, VWAP, for the intraday session. Okay, so that's also some correlation, right? Because the average price of traders based on volume is right here, right? So that tells me, okay, well, we have structure. There's volume right at these levels. They're probably going to want to try to cover right in here. So I made the zone fairly wide, 19 to 15.50, and suggested if you can get long, scale in 2 to 3 point stop depending on where you get in. Okay. But there's more we want to look at. So anyway, looking at this structure here, we'll call this like a Wyckoff throwback structure. The market the market shows it a lot. Okay, I'll show you some examples back here. I have it left on my chart. Here's one. You see that? Downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. Market comes down, makes these impulses, tries to make a new low, and instantly just gets bought right back up. Okay? So this is the trap right here. You see the volume through this area? This is the trap. The extreme fake out, right? Hit the trend line, pull back, and then just rip. Go for it, right? So this is sort of this fake out. You know, you can say it's confirmed here. I kind of start to recognize it when it gets here, but I won't get too far into that today, because it'll prolong the video for longer than I have. Okay, so here's another downtrend day, right? Holding this trend line, and then we lose momentum, sort of break into a new area, but then we start pushing fairly quickly back up into this area. We break off of it, and everyone's expecting 4110 was common, 4100, and everyone just piled in. If you looked on Twitter, all the retail gurus were all saying 4100, 4110, and I did not see big money moving with this. And so I was suggesting get long here. I would say 90% of my chat was like talking about 4110, Discord chat, and then Twitter was all talking lower. So you have the same kind of setup. Trap them, rip the trend line, come back, retest the breakout area, and then the rest is history for that for that day, right? We just pushed all the way up for the rest of the day, and ripped the face off shorts, and it was the close was especially uncomfortable. So anyway, you see this pattern playing out, right? And so that's a kind of a core pattern of mine as well. And here, let's mess around with this chart a little bit. Okay, so let's squeeze it a little bit. Okay, so we have this pattern, right? Now keep in mind we've defined how we're looking at a potential support area, but now let's go to the footprint. Okay, and let's see how it plays out. Okay, we're gonna have to start this again. Here it goes. Let's see, 1055. This is the next. So anyway, right here we have a huge bid. We'll call it negative delta imbalance. It's orders that are hitting the bid, creating negative delta here. And right here you can see this is negative 970 delta out of 1,010 volume. So essentially the price never moved past this level, and it's all absorption, right? They're hitting bids, hitting bids, hitting bids. This was an iceberg order, right? And folks notice that because it's like right at the end of a move, right? And 1815 happens to be TPO singles for this session, right? And so they're looking to cover at the single, or someone's looking either to cover or to get long at the singles. But what happens? The market recognizes it because it's right at the end of a bar, and everyone's like, oh, it's an obvious iceberg. It's not happening in the middle of a bar. Like, there's places in the market here. Well, it's further into the close, but where you'll get ice across multiple levels, but price is allowed to move back up, and then the icebergs come back into play and they start either buying or selling a certain level. Okay, so unless you have a footprint set up in a way that works for you, you're not going to see it. So anyway, that's one of the benefits of the footprint. So what I'm showing you here is, look, as we come into 1850, boom, look what happens. Look at the bid. Look, it's getting refilled. See that? Refilled, refilled, refilled. There's no huge bidders. All right, it's the same iceberg level. So anyway, my chart just shows B ice, bid ice, and then for ask ice it shows A ice, right? Where is it? A ice, ask ice. Anyway, so okay, so more bid ice here, and it's holding again. And so what does everybody think? Well, I'm going to start buying here. All little retail folks think I'm going to start buying. You could see it in time and sales, right? Essentially, this is kind of a nice time and sales here. See the 25, they're buying, they're buying, they're buying. Now, bigger money, here we go. This essentially about 2,000 lots now has gotten filled at the bid here through an iceberg. So that's a bigger player, right? 2,000 lots. It's more institutional, likely, okay? Now we push down into VWAP, okay? Again, this is 1x speed. Volume is increasing. All right, here we go. Some stops hit, right? And now it's being supported with a heavy bid, right? 400, and it's filling in, and they're just hitting bids. Look at that. Hitting bids, hitting bids, hitting them. Just smoking everything that comes up on the ask. Just smoking them. So anyone who's trying to reshort this breakout here, right at this level, they're shorting, they're just fodder. They break the level, okay? Now, you got to recognize, look at this, right? This is going to be, obviously, resistance, right? This area, 21, 22. Watch what ends up happening, right? We're going to speed it up a little bit here. 5x, right? Here it goes. Now, I want to go show you the Renko chart real quick here. Remember, we're looking at this area. You would expect this to be major resistance. It does. It comes up, pulls back down, and then rips. And then what does it do? It tests the breakout area and goes. So essentially what I'm showing you is structure, a little bit of confluence with VWAP, but how to read this area here with volume. The pullback, this little Wyckoff throwback pattern. They absorb on the breakout essentially at 1850 here. Because they can't make it too obvious. They can't put their ice right here. You all notice it at the end. Price won't even go that far. And then everyone will buy. But they want to trick everybody out because they need people shorting. Because they want to buy those shorts and then make them all capitulate and then get a better exit, right? And then if they exit, they can rebuy again. Trap the same stupid shorts that are left here. Going, well, okay, it failed. And then they want to buy again. And they want to buy on volume to trap people out of position. But a lot of folks don't know this sort of throwback kind of situation. So anyway, back to the delta footprint. We're just chopping around. They're shorting. Look at the volume already pick up here now, right? And now look at this bar. It's a negative 2600 delta bar. So a lot more initiative sellers, and yet price is holding up. So you've got a little bit of short-term, what you would call cumulative delta divergence. Price is moving up while people are hitting the bid. And this is how they love to trap. Again, less capitalized players who are looking to profit off very short-term movements. Larger players, they can absorb going 5-6 points underwater. They'll just buy it, keep buying it, and get everybody out of position. You know, they're not going to stop out like this on this kind of position, typically, right? But short term, the small traders, you and I, we're like, well, shoot, I don't know where they're taking it. I don't want to get wrecked. They're capitulating on these kind of areas. So that provides fuel because the longs have capitulated. And then, you know, most of us are just trying to follow the breadcrumbs. So we're saying, oh, this level's broke. Those are singles. Well, maybe we're going to go find the next level of singles down. But again, if you don't know how to read this Renko and this sort of Wyckoff throwback kind of situation, you're screwed. So anyway, you can kind of see the little pattern here. You got this head, double left shoulder, right shoulder. Anyway, that's how it ends up playing out. So just a really nice pattern. Obviously, this went up into the 30 level or whatever. There was more ask ice up there, and you know, it sold off. That was a whole other situation. So anyway, A lot of these indicators and everything that I use are because there are a lot of kind people out there willing to help folks in Sierra Chart. You know, like me, I'm doing these videos for fun. I don't get paid to do anything for Sierra Chart or YouTube or Twitch or Discord. It's all free. And one of the benefits of that is that I have a zero tolerance with assholes. Okay, so if you're an asshole on YouTube, if you're an asshole on my Discord, I ban you. I'm like, you're not worth my time because I'm not getting paid for this. So that's one of the benefits. So we have a Discord room, and in that Discord room we have this. I'll just say he's a Sierra Chart programmer. He's a Sierra Chart wizard. His name is Zip, and he runs the Akin indicators, and he's got his own forum. It's a Czech Republic forum. He has been acknowledged by Sierra Chart as being a programmer that has benefited the Sierra Chart community greatly. He's got a storefront on Sierra Chart, and so he is part of our Discord server, and he has made some studies available to Trade Your Plan Discord members, and you can only get them by joining up through the Discord. And again, it's all free. Guys, it's all free. The only thing that I ask of you guys if you're going to be there is bring value and a good attitude. Right? It's a place for learning. It's a place for, furthering your education. We do have a private trading room. That's not for everybody. We're keeping it small, intimate, and I'm getting a lot of benefit out of that as well. It's not just education from me to everyone else. I'm learning from everybody else as well. So there's a very selfish vein there. So that is not just open to everyone or anybody that asks. If you show me that you have a super great hunger to learn, you're fairly sharp, you read, you follow through, yeah, then we'd consider probably letting you in and then seeing if you seeing if you my kid seeing if you provide a contribution that makes it worth it for us to keep you there. But so anyway, that's what that's about. But that's all laid out in my Discord. Anyway, Zip has graciously done some things. He's created a forum specific to Trade Your Plan on his forum. I will put links to all of that in the description of this video, okay? As well as to the Sierra Chart support board post. That's one of the most popular support board posts on Sierra Chart. I think it's the second most popular thread on the whole Sierra Chart website. Okay, so check it out. Again, well worth your time. He's got hundreds and hundreds, like over five. I mean, he might. I don't. Sorry, I don't know this Zip, but he might have like 1,000 free Sierra Chart studies. That's the Sierra Chart terminology for indicators. So he may have like over 1,000 free studies there, and all you got to do is just go register, check it out. Give him feedback. All of that. Again, this guy, he is a full-time programmer, and he does this on the side, and just a great person. I highly, highly recommend you go check that out. Again, totally, totally worth your time. That's Atkins Indicators, and I'll put a link in the description to everything you need to know about that. So anyway, I hope you guys find this video useful, and I hope you have a super successful upcoming trading week. Happy trading, guys.